and welcome back to part 3 of the Tomb Raider reboot, where today we're going to be helping Whitman open this door, and hopefully, maybe at some point in this video, Whitman will prove that he's not a complete arsewipe and he can be trusted with literally anything in this game. But this door has a lot of interesting markings on it, so it'll be interesting to see where it all leads once we unlock it and get through. Well, I say that, it's not going to stay open for long. Whitman, don't put your hand on it like you're holding it up. You clearly weren't. You know, with how much they're talking about the Sun Queen Himiko, I wonder if this island has something to do with her. Like, before they were going to say, oh, we should try and find her. Yeah, it'll be really cool. Nothing bad will happen. Like, reboot or not, this is kind of a setup for way too many Tomb Raider games, where they'll casually just drop some myth and be like, oh, but what's the chance we're going to bump into that? And then Lara and the gang bump into that. It's not a critique, it works for what it's trying to do. It's just once you've played enough Tomb Raider games, you notice the pattern. And if we do Rise and Shadow later on, you'll notice it there too. But we've got a quite lengthy cutscene where Whitman is totally not going to disappoint and let us down yet again.
Incredible. Oh, it is Himiko.
But look, the bowl, the candles. Why is she still being worshipped?
This island, it must have once been part of Yamatai. You were right, Lara.
The Lost Kingdom.
It's like finding Atlantis.
But this is real, Dr. Whitman. We're not standing on a myth.
No, we're standing on a gold mine.
Come, quickly. Your friends are hurt.
Yes, probably by them.
Get back.
They can't be trusted. You still have a gun.
I don't want any trouble.
No.
We'll come.
No.
But I insist that afterwards you take us to whoever's in charge.
What are you doing?
Be quiet.
No!
I'm handling this!
No!
No! Please!
Get off!
Just go along with them, Lara. Do whatever they say.
Дай меня пистолет. Иди. Пошла.
Who are you people? What do you want with us?
Lara!
If they give you any trouble, kill them.
Don't hurt them,
I
please!
said, silence, girl. А ты ведь хорошенькая, да? Напоминаешь мою сестру.
Let go! Let go! Lara, run!
No! No!
Round them up! Round them up! Don't you fucking move! Kill them all!
God damn it, Whitman! We wouldn't have had this problem if you just had some balls. But either way, we got this kind of shoehorn stealth section, and it's a bit finicky. Like, it doesn't quite work the way it's supposed to, but it still kind of works. Like, the way they incorporate stealth into the later games is far better handled than the experiment that this is. So I think that's the only way to put it, an experiment. Like, it's not that they hear you, it's just sometimes they will just sharply turn around and catch you. It's not that then they can't see you through walls, it's just sometimes they'll think they see something and will come check anyway. It's things like that. Like, sometimes you're really out of luck with this and you've just got to kind of wait it out as you go. The main one being this section up here. Wait for these two guys to walk away. If you try and cut into that log behind it, both of them will just turn around and see you regardless. You gotta wait for them to bugger off a little and then go for it. Which is ridiculous, but it is what it is. But that's it for the entire stealth section. It's really short, but they threw it in anyway, and this was a section that was actually in a lot of like the demos and like presentations for this game before it made the rounds kind of thing. Like when all the trailers were dropping, they showed this stealth section quite a lot. And now we're about to get this interesting section where they're going to remind us that no, we're still embracing the odd random QuickTime events that the Legend trilogy did. But they're not going to be anywhere near as interesting because they're all the same button. Just wait for it to come up and say triangle and then you hit triangle, and it's like that for every single one of them. Occasionally they'll ask you to do something like actually, you know, do something else, but they'll only ever ask for one button. Oh yeah, square. It's always square if you need to mash. Triangle if you need to hit, and R2 if you need to shoot, kind of thing. Well, the Legend Trilogy did a much better job of kind of involving you. Oh, and that's the reboot's explanation of the first kill. Because all 3 universes have had a point in their games where they've had to highlight the very first person Lara killed, because Lara is kind of a butcher when it comes to people's lives. She's killed a lot of people in all 3 universes. This will definitely be no exception in the reboot. But they always try and do the kill someone and then have how she reacts to it and how it hardens her and becomes colder to it as time goes on. Personally, and I know it's always my bias sticking around, I think the Legend Trilogy did it best with the second game anniversary when she kills Larson.
Out of ammo.
Because the build-up with that is all game, because Larson is a pain in your side for such a large stretch of the game, and every single time you deal with him, she doesn't kill him. And eventually, it is a point of no return, this has to end now. And she just kind of, like, Larson says something along the lines of, I know you won't shoot me because that's just not who you are. And she goes, I'm not who you think I am, and then shoots him 3 times to take him down. But then afterwards she looks at her hand, aware of what she'd done, and kind of like brushes her off, like she can see blood on it. Even though there isn't actually any blood on her hand, it's a psychological thing, she can see it. And it ends up escalating throughout the rest. Every time she kills someone, she glances at her hands. Before at the end of it, she ends up more okay and more manageable with it. But this one, it's just some random Russian dude that we just put a bullet in his head. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it's not as impactful, it doesn't have as much meaning. But now we can absolutely kill humans. Oh, and good luck aiming at that section. Did you see how goddamn shaky that screen is? Like, it calms down now. It's just for cinematic effect, that bit. But I hate that. Like, no, don't do any of that, ever. But you can loot the corpses of enemies. Which is something I alluded to at previous parts when we was looting animals. I said animals and corpses. I realised when I was watching back through it, I was like, oh, I kind of just dropped that. I mean, it's kind of well known. Like, it's not subtle, and they don't kind of pretend it's nothing like the Uncharted series does. Like, Nathan Drake kills a lot of people in the Uncharted games, and they don't really ever give it a second thought. Whilst in this, it's always been a part of all 3 universes that she isn't a hero. She isn't necessarily a good person, she's just a survivor. They don't try and glamorize, or... Well, I say glamorize, it's not that Uncharted glamorizes it, that's the wrong word. More that they just kind of play it. They don't really give much thought otherwise. But it's introducing stealth kills that you can do with the bow and arrow. That first guy, you could hit him literally anywhere and he will fall over into the fire the exact same way, because it's the tutorial. And you can thankfully still loot his body because he's only on the edge of the fire. And now it's only now tutorializing you on charging your shots by holding down the arrow. So, well, how did you take down the deer earlier on then? Did you just like pepper its body with like 6 small arrows? Well, 6 weak arrows. But one thing you can do that it's a bit difficult to do, and I'm not consistent with it, so I'll probably fuck it up. Yeah, no, I completely messed that up. Great. Is that if someone notices you, you still have a couple seconds to deal with them, and it'll still be stealthy. And what I was trying to show with those two is that when you get the first shot off, the other guy turns around. If you take him out then and there, it'll still be stealthy. But I missed, so he called the ladder down so people will come in. The ladder will get called down regardless, because it's the easiest way up. Well, it's the only way up from where we are. But they'll come down to investigate, not come down to attack you, kind of thing. Alternatively, you can shoot a wall near someone and someone will go investigate it, but only one person will investigate it at a time.
I can see smoke coming from the old ruins. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just Whitman's useless.
What? Who?
Men. I don't know why. I had to kill some of them. I had no choice.
That can't have been easy.
So even in this one, even if it's not as impactful as they handled it in Anniversary,
Got to warn the others off.
it's the fact that she's like, I had to kill someone. Like, it plays on her. It's not like Nathan Drake or a lot of other games that try and have goody two-shoes heroes that conveniently kill bad guys. It's like, what? Like, they don't pretend Lara's a good person. She tries to be, and her morals are in the right place. She's just not necessarily a good person altogether. And it's something that I'm glad that when we eventually get to it, Shadow spends a lot of time exploring. That she can absolutely be a demon of her own making when needs to be. But this is introducing the whole, if you shoot the door, only one person will go investigate, so you've got a free double kill. Because only one person will go to look, the other person will look away, so you can take one out without the other guy even being remotely aware of it. Oh, I thought that'd be something to interact with, it's just more pistol bullets. The amount of bullets and arrows you can carry at the start of the game is pretty limited, so be wary of your resource management. Don't just spam shots if you can help it, and if you can, use your bow, just because if you hit your target you can collect it off their corpses. This section is tutorializing you on breaking lanterns, and they want you to use the gun, so I just do. But if you were going for the optional tune, well, we already did one of them yesterday, so you already know how to do it, and you can absolutely do it with a bow and arrow. You just got to break the lantern. Coming up here, we're introduced to stealth kills, which the way it works changes between the 3 games of the reboot, but in this one it's tap triangle behind someone, then spam square. The reason why I say it changes is because in the sequels we get a knife, and the knife is a perfect silent assassin weapon. We don't have to strangle them to death, we can just slit their throat. Or something of that nature kind of thing. Be wary, by the way, in this section. If all kicks off, the fire will really start spreading around this building. Like, they will ignite something that will make the fire start catching up to you. So you are on a soft time limit the moment people become aware of you. Which is right now. So you're going to hear an explosion go off. That's the rest of the place actually now catching on fire. So we have a limited amount of time to push because the building's going to burn around us. If you might have just seen at the bottom of the screen there, the platform we started on when we entered this little section is already burnt to a crisp. The entire circle way is burnt to a crisp. The path up and around's burning. The bridge probably would have just collapsed by then. Like, you cannot hang around in there the moment they spot you. But once you get down of it and get out of there, you're pretty much in the clear. You just gotta run straight up to this wall for this little scripted section, and this is the only time Lara does this, I think, in the entire trilogy. I don't know, I can't remember if she does it in Rise. I'm pretty sure she doesn't do it in Shadow, where you have to actually shimmy up between 2 walls. And so this is the only time you do this in this game. And it's something else that I kind of miss from the Legend trilogy. Like, they get better with it as this trilogy goes on, but there's a lot of like acrobatic stuff that Lara could just do in the Legend trilogy because she was so well trained and so well into it. Like, because the Legend trilogy, the anniversary was the origin of her first kill, but none of the games were trying to tell an actual origin story. All of them were after she was fully developed, which is what made this game so interesting to begin with. But we do have a long cutscene here, so I'm going to have to nip that one in the bud for a bit whilst this cutscene plays out and we try and help Ruff.
Thank God you're alive.
God's got nothing to do with it. It's good to see you two, girl.
Sorry, they did a real number on your leg.
No, looks worse than it is.
Have you heard from any of the others?
Nothing.
Wait, what are you doing?
The wolves took my food pack. The transmitter from the lifeboat's in it. If we don't get that back, we're not getting off this bloody island.
You need bandages, morphine, antiseptic.
Also in the pack.
Shit.
Exactly. Come here. Come on.
Oh no. No. Oh, don't do this to me, you northern bastard. Okay. Thank God he's still alive. Wolf tracks. Oh God, what am I doing?
Yeah, Ross supplies is what we need to not only save him, but to be able to get any kind of distress call or signal, so we can try and work our way out of here. So we gotta go straight into that wolf's den. But don't fret about it. The wolf den is... I guess it's because they already know we've dealt with a fair amount of wolves at this point, so they don't really make too much of an issue about it. Like, it's kind of tame compared to what you might expect. But now we've got a pistol, we can upgrade that as well, acting as a second primary weapon. There's 4 primary weapons, so we've still got 2 to get. And the 3rd and 4th one will come up to you pretty quickly. Like, we'll have our 3rd weapon before the end of this week. But either way, I'm going to call it a part. So next time on Tomb Raider, we're going to head to the wolf den to get Ross supplies. But until then, you guys take care now.